Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Here, I dive into what military service looks like around the world, what weapons soldiers use, what rules they follow, and what life in uniform is really like. Today, we're heading somewhere most people will never set foot: North Korea's military. North Korea is one of the most secretive countries on the planet. Getting inside is nearly impossible. But some information still leaks out through satellite images, rare journalism, and, most importantly, stories from defectors. So grab a seat, we're getting started. And if this kind of topic interests you, hit that like button. It helps the channel grow. Conscription and selection. In North Korea, military service isn't a choice, it's a duty to the party and the supreme leader. All men are drafted starting at age 17, and many women end up serving too. Service time? Not 1 or 2 years. For men, it's 7 to 10 years. For women, up to 5 years. And that's just the regular army. Special forces and elite guard units can mean even longer terms. To get into these elite units, you have to pass strict screening. They look at your loyalty, family background, and political reliability. Life in the military. Imagine a day scheduled down to the minute with no room for mistakes. Wake-up call, 5 a.m. Morning exercises, marching drills, and mandatory patriotism lectures. Breakfast? Usually rice, kimchi, and some soy-based soup. Then it's on to weapons training, combat drills, long-distance marches and work. Yes, soldiers build roads, work farms, even mine coal. Basically, they're cheap labor. Long hours and rest is a luxury. Discipline and punishment. The North Korean army is like a prison with guns. Mess up? You pay. Miss morning roll call? 1 day of arrest with just bread and water. Talk back to an officer? You might get beaten or reassigned to a punishment unit. One defector said, fall asleep on guard duty and they'd bury you waist, deep in snow, dump cold water on you, then force you to march until you collapse. And you're always under suspicion. Say the wrong thing, glance the wrong way, get a letter from abroad, boom, you're a traitor. Everyone is constantly on edge. Hunger in the military. Defectors report daily rations of 300-400 grams of rice, some pickled veggies, and hot water, maybe with a few soybeans. Meat? Almost never. Sometimes they hand out canned meat, but it usually goes to officers. One former soldier said, we ate grass and tree bark. In the mess hall, we got a bowl of hot water with a single cabbage leaf. That was called soup. Results? Many soldiers lose 10-20 kilograms, 20-45 pounds, in the first 6 months. Stomach illnesses, vision loss, and malnutrition are common. Some faint during roll call. They're revived with sugar water. In extreme cases, soldiers ate rats, frogs, bird 7 boiled leather belts to survive. And when officers had food, soldiers had to beg, trade, or snitch just to get an extra portion. Fun fact, during the 1990s, famine known as the Arduous March soldiers guarded rice warehouses meant only for the elite. Some were executed for trying to steal rice even when starving to death. Women in the military. Yes, women serve too. Officially, they're equal to men. But in reality, defectors report horrific conditions. One woman said, there was no basic hygiene. We washed clothes in the snow. Many girls stopped having periods due to hunger and stress. Officers would demand favors, and no one stopped them. It's hard to verify, but too many stories say the same thing to ignore. Brainwashing in the North Korean army. Every day starts and ends, not just with roll call, but with political indoctrination. Soldiers must. Read quotes from Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and Kim Jong-un. Listen to Lessons About Evil Imperialists, especially the US, Japan, and South Korea. Write journal entries on how the leader personally impacted their life even if all they ate was boiled roots. They must credit the party's love. Weekly self-criticism. Once a week, every soldier must stand up and confess their failings. I didn't march well, that's disrespecting our great Kim. I fell asleep on duty, that means I don't love my country enough. Others then publicly criticize you, even your best friends. Next week, it might be your turn. It's designed to break you and turn you into a loyal cog in the machine. Cult of personality. Leader portraits hang in every barracks. Each morning starts with bows to the images. Let the portraits get dusty? You could face extra duty or prison. In a fire, saving the portraits comes before saving your fellow soldiers. Not a joke some were honored for dying in flames, but rescuing Kim's photo. Weapons. North Korea still uses Soviet-era weapons from the 1960s. AK-47S, RPGs, mortars, old tanks like the T-55 and T-62. Yes, they show off newer weapons at parades, but many are likely fakes or prototypes. During training, they march more than they shoot. Ammo is scarce, and they ration it carefully. But that doesn't make them weak. Their real weapon is fanatic loyalty. These soldiers are trained to die for the supreme leader, and that's what makes them dangerous. Parades and nukes fear as theater. If you've ever seen a North Korean military parade, you know, this isn't just about troops, it's propaganda at its finest. Once every few years, usually for a Kim family birthday, the country stops. Thousands march in perfect sync, trained for months to get it right. Mess up your step, you could be kicked out or even arrested. The highlight? The nuclear missiles. Massive Hwasong-15 or Hwasong-17 rockets roll by on giant trucks while generals and crowds cheer. But here's the twist. Many experts believe some of these missiles are fake empty shells for show, meant to scare the West and squeeze out political concessions. Still, North Korea does have real nukes. They've done at least 6 nuclear tests, and their long-range missiles might be able to reach the U.S. To the regime, the military and nukes are both shield and sword used to intimidate the outside world and control their own people. Real stories. In 2017, a North Korean soldier defected across the border under a hail of bullets. He survived, but doctors found 25 centimeters long parasites in his body, proof of the terrible hygiene and medical care. Another said they had to the 5th of March 0 kilometers with no food or water, chanting, "Death for the motherland is an honor." One claimed that during fuel shortages, they burned school books and portraits of Kim Il-sung to heat the Baraksa shocking act that officers later tried to cover up. After service, when your time's up, you might go home if you're lucky. Others get assigned to labor mobilization. Another 3-5 years in factories or construction. Veterans are respected, but always watched. Final thoughts. Serving in North Korea's army isn't just about duty, it's about survival. Fear, hunger, humiliation. It's all part of a system built on absolute loyalty to the regime. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like the video and drop a comment about which country's military you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching.